to the Optimal Fitness Systems Module 5, Power Training. Okay, we've worked our way up, right? We've gone through the corrective exercises, we've corrected those movement impairments that we had. We went on to the balance training, both static and dynamic. We went into the resistance training, so now we're doing some of the strength training, and now we're getting to the pinnacle. We're getting to what it's all about, if you will, power training. Why is power training important? Well, simply put, power training is what we do. It pertains more to the activities we do on a daily basis than anything else, simply because it mimics more of the speeds that we're more apt to endure during our daily activities. For example, when you go to pick up that basket of laundry, you don't do like a 4-second eccentric loading, a 2-second concentric loading. You just grab it and pick it up and you're gone. Okay, that's more of a power movement. When we think of power, we tend to think of Olympic lifts and jumping, plyometrics, and all that stuff, which is true. But functionally, with most of your clients, you can really explain exactly what I just did. That's teaching them how they're just training their body in the way their body's more used to. Simply put, in another way, it also helps, increases the excitability of the nervous system. What that means is it helps speed up the communications between your central nervous system and the rest of your body. So the neural impulses, when it starts here, it initiates in the brain and it works its way down, it gets down there faster. Now, one of the key things I like to explain to my clients is why that type of reactive training is so important. For the elderly patient, for example, if they go to step off a curve, you may have heard a kind of classic example, they step off a curve, they weren't able to catch themselves, so they fall, and now you have this little elderly woman who's fallen and broken her hip. And I don't think I need to get into details. A broken hip for an 89-year-old woman can lead to much more devastating things. So power training, and when I talk about the elderly patient or client, I'm not saying you're going to have them doing Olympic lifts or any kind of type of reactive exercise that they can handle within their abilities. So there is a little bit of common sense, if you will. But reactive training, even if you apply it correctly, can definitely go to the elderly patient as well. You want them to be able to be reactive. You want them to be stronger? Absolutely. But you also want them to be able to respond faster as well. Like I was saying, it helps prevent falls, reactability, but it also helps if you look at the younger clients or your athletes. Power training is essential for every aspect of enhancing the athletic performance, speed, agility, quickness. All of that is improved upon with power training. And just like everything that we've talked about, that systematic progressive approach to the Optimal Fitness Systems program is certainly going to help improve everything we talk about with athletics. But again, mimicking the speeds that we're more likely to endure during these activities is going to be through power training. And that's why it is a central component of the overall spectrum. And because of the demands on the tissues of the body, it's the reason why it's at the far end of the spectrum. So we're working our way up to that point. And after we get to the power area, and we've kind of hit that pinnacle, and if they're an athlete, that's when I get into more of my specialization type of training. So when you put these all together, how I've been wording it, if any of you have ever purchased any of my systematic programs that I put out there, I always say this. I always say we stabilize before we stabilize before we mobilize before we powerize, and powerize before we specialize. So it's a systematic, progressive approach to help you achieve your goals, your clients' goals, safely, effectively, and efficiently. Again, we'll go through the whole system. First thing we want to do, pre-activity screening. Make sure they're safe to continue on with the program. Fitness assessments, obtain those baseline measurements. Overhead squat assessment, see if they have any movement impairments. If so, correct those movement impairments. Then you move on to stabilization. Now that the movement impairments are corrected, we can get into the balance type of training, okay? From balance we go into strength training. Now we're going to start to increase the strength of all the tissues of the body. Now that we've gotten to that point, now we're going to say, hey brain, I want you to tell all these things what to do faster so that when we're out there in the real world, so to speak, we're able to react at the speeds that we need to get by functionally, whether it's going down the stairs or it's throwing that 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Systematic and progressive. I hope you enjoyed this course. Let's move on to the power exercises.